This is Vince Marino Plumbing LLC in Pittsburgh. Today is January 9th, 2024. One second here. I was here about 3 weeks ago. Gave a quote. There was somebody else here. This is a Burnham. Where the heck is this at here? It's a Burnham model KIN 10LNC-LL2. This is a steam boiler. So I'm going to replace this with a Dunkirk PSB-6. I did the EDR in this house. This boiler has a gross input of 315,000 BTU and an output of 259. Whoever replaced this prior, I believe this company here, never heard of them. They grossly oversized this boiler very much, and it carboned up. So when I get this apart, I'll have some more additional footage here. We'll see what occurred, if there's a leak on the top of it that caused the carbon, or the draft. I don't know exactly what happened, but I'll have some more footage here shortly. Okay, I'm making some progress here. As you can see, this is why you don't use steel fittings. I don't know why they use the steel pigtail here, but this is all clogged. And you can see here, this needed some service. The bottom sight glass tube was clogged, which they never cleaned. And this is the pressure control pipe. It should have been brass, but this is what happened here. It's sooted. I don't know if it was leaking. We're going to find out in a little bit. See some corrosion there. Let me see what's happening here. This is the pressure controlled pigtail, which is clogged up. I don't see how that could have worked. And the 90. As far as the pressure control, doesn't look too bad. I'm going to hold on to this. It's about a $400 part. It's good to hold on to some of these parts. This is the gas valve for these Burnhams. I've seen somebody convert one of these Burnhams from a standing pilot to spark. This valve here is a Honeywell VR8304P4298. This is a fixed step open valve, 3.5 to 7 inch water column. So this valve is what's needed for the Burnham boilers. So if you change one of these valves to convert to spark from standing pilot, you need a step open valve. I don't see how people do that, but in the meantime, I'm going to get right back to you. Okay, we got the one side off. Now, as you can see here, I don't know what occurred here, but this is a mess. I'd never put one of these in because this is a knockdown boiler, and I believe either all this or I think it all comes together, the block. You have to raise this and put this on top of this frame, which is a pain because you need a lift. And if you have a short basement, there's no way you're going to accurately set this on the cabinet. As you can see, this thing is definitely had some issues here. I think it's about 10 years old, from what I understand from the tenant. But I'll be getting this draft box off. It looks bigger than what it is. So each one of these sections are not very big. We're going to cut these rods and split them apart. And this header is the original header, which they made a mistake and then left. So this was a drip, I believe, or they connected the other header here. I don't know what they did. I wasn't here. But this is not an equalizer. It's a drip off this header. Or excuse me, this was the drip. And they changed something here. I think there was 2 steam feeds on here originally. One came from here and one from there, and they had the equalizer on the end. I don't know how this worked. Either end there was an equalizer. But this is a drip off of this header, which is connected to a pipe that went down to the wet return here. This is a 2-pipe steam system. I'll go through the building before I leave. It's not a building, it's a house actually, but it's a big house. So this, what I'm going to do is, the Dunkirk has a 2.5-inch header. We're going to take 2 2.5s, connect to these individually. I'm going to take this off and build the header to Dunkirk's requirements. In the meantime, I'll get right back. Okay, as you can see here, this is the section. This sooted up, complete soot. I believe the section was leaking. I think there's a hole in here somewhere. Somewhere here there's something, or get my light here and take a look. So in the vent here, that as you can see, this section has a hole in it. Okay, let me see if I can set this here. So this, you can see I'm going in here. So this was leaking, okay? So the steam, there's the hole in there. The steam was condensing the flue gas and the carbon duct, okay? So that couldn't have been fixed. That's a big hole. The last one that I did was smaller. The same area it leaked. So in the meantime, we're going to proceed to take this out. This probably was leaking for some time, and it never was inspected properly. This is a big gouge in here. This is on the end. This probably could have been fixed, but I wouldn't have fixed it because it's too much work to take this apart. The frame is rotted, you know, you can see here. So this rotted out through the section. Burnham. And more than likely it rotted out because this wasn't piped in right. I don't see how a massive borer this size can use 2-inch steam nozzles. They should be a minimum of 2.5. Slant fin and Dunkirk pipe them 2.5 to get the steam out. I think that's something that's a flaw in the design, because 2-inch steam main can only handle so many square foot of steam. I believe it's 290. I don't have the chart on me, according to Holohan. So this is 315,000 input out. It should have been 2.5 to get the steam out. I don't know why they tap these 2-inch. The original header was 4, you can see there. So keep an eye. This is the video of the dismantling of this Burnham. This original header is going to be replaced. We're going to take this off here. Have a 2.5-inch pipe, put a union. Same here. Then the new Dunkirk is going to have the header built according to the manufacturer's design. That's where these people make a mistake. This was a heating and ventilating company that installed this. They had no business to install this because they installed it wrong. It's not a forced air furnace, and it's not a hydronic boiler. The biggest mistake people make installing these is not following the manufacturer's instructions on how to size and build the header. They think that you can just connect these 2 pipes to this pipe here and you're going to get steam. But in the meantime, I'll get back to you further. Before I get back here a little bit later, I forgot to mention that the makeup water, if you see where they put the makeup water in, he put it right into the boiler above the Hartford loop. That's another no-no, because you shock the boiler with the cold water. That makeup water line is going to go down here on the wet return, so that water gets tempered with the warm water. So like I said, whoever did this, they were ignorant to the fact. I don't hold anything against them, but they shouldn't have did this. So the makeup water does not go into the boiler on a steam system or on a hot water. This makeup water is going to go on a wet return, but that's another problem they did wrong here, is introduce the cold water into the boiler. And I believe there was more than one leak here, because you can see this is all rotted out down below. The burners are gone. These things are packed. This is the exposed section of the Burnham. I'm going to try to utilize this with the new one to save time. There's nothing wrong with it. It's got a ball valve here. I think this feed valve I can use with the new hydro level low water cutoff. But as you can see, one of the things to realize that this boiler was oversized is the wet return. It's only 1.25 inches. So while I have this run over and around here, let me see. This is a 2-pipe steam system. All the pipes are insulated here, see? So we're going to be good. Hopefully. This house was built well. It's shady side of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a mansion. I advised the tenant to let the landlord know there's some maintenance that may be needed here with these main vents. So this house is a 2-pipe. It has convectors. They're not radiators. There's I think there's 3 radiators up on the 3rd floor. So let me go upstairs here. So to size this house, for me to get the correct board, I used Holohan's, Dan Holohan's EDR book. There was one there, which we left out, which ain't much, but I got them all. It's actually a little bit over. So these are the cabinets. So what I did was I had to measure these and these convectors in here. I used the book of Dan Holohan, Every Dawn Radiator, and sure and behold, I was able to locate the width of the convector. So as you can see, this is an old antique, what do you call it? Jukebox or record player. Looks like it's an old antique. So Every Darn Radiator is the book you want to get. Now keep in mind, he has some radiators in there, but not every one. They're all in there, the ones that are rare, but you still have to use the column chart I have from, forget the name of it, because they only have like 2 column or 3 columns. Sometimes there's 3 column, 1 column, but all the rare radiators and convectors are in there. I would say there's every one in there, but not every exact one. So these convectors were in there, and I was able to do the calculation for the square foot of steam. Now for you HVAC people, furnaces, air conditioning, you do not size steam heat by using a heat loss. Steam gets sized by the square foot of steam. That's how it's done. Now the PSB-6D is 187,000 in, and I forget the amount out, but it's like the square foot of steam is slightly over what's needed here, but it ain't going to be much. In the meantime, this is what this Burnham looks like in the situation that it is. And what the cause of this carbon is the leak of the steam coming out and cooling off the flue gas, and then it carbonized. This guy's lucky he didn't kill himself in here. Okay, we're making progress. This guy has a mini split for heat, so for the time being, for today, I make progress. As you can see, I separated this header. There's part of it and the rest is outside. And this boiler is destroyed, carbonized. You can see down in there, look at those burners, filthy. They're rusted. So apparently this thing is sooted. Now I've seen somebody cleaning a sooted cast iron gas boiler. I've seen one other person to do it the right way. You do not brush carbon out of a cast iron gas boiler. You take the burners out, the electrical components, put some plastic around it, and it gets hosed out. If there's no drain nearby, you have a wet shop vac to suck up the water. This stuff is very highly lethal. You get this in your skin, you have to wear gloves, it doesn't come out. And it's not good to breathe. Tomorrow I'm going to have a mask. But the cast iron boilers do not get brushed. They get hosed out with water to dilute the soot, because that's highly flammable and it's not good to your skin and respiratory system. Today is January 9th, 2024. And I'll return January 10th and keep progressing here.